I'm a senior in high school, a 17-year-old student. I just got expelled, and I'm going to seek a bit of revenge on the parents that got me expelled. I know what I'm probably going to do is wrong, morally, legally, any way you want to look at it, I know. But I don't really care, because I think it needs to be done. So the question I'm asking you, am I the a-hole? I'll let you guys judge after I tell you the wild thing that I did. Here's a story that's been keeping me up at night. I know that I'm not perfect, and maybe I'm even messed up, but I need to know if I'm a jerk. I'm a 17-year-old senior in high school, about to graduate. I am not a great student, and I'll be the first to admit that I've made some poor choices. Ever since sophomore year, I've been addicted to smoking. I know, it's bad, but life's been hard on me and I have to cope the best way I can. Lately, I've been feeling depressed, and it's led me to do some things I'm not proud of, like occasionally getting into drugs, and even giving some to students outside of my school. It was my way of making some quick cash. I never really thought about the consequences, to be honest, but then things started to catch up to me. One day, I was called to the principal's office, and as soon as I walked in, I could tell something was off. The principal was stern, and there was a letter on his desk. A letter from a parent claiming I sold drugs to their child. The letter also called me the school's burnout. My heart dropped. I had just had a smoke before walking into the office, so the smell was all over my clothing. That did not help my case one bit. The principal looked me in the eyes and said, is this true? Is this how you represent our school? I was speechless. What could I say? I didn't even know who the accuser was. I tried to deny it, but my words came all jumbled and insecure. And what is that smell? Is that cigarettes? Are you even listening to the severity of this situation, son? I knew then that I was trapped. My heart was pounding and my mind was racing and everything seemed to be closing in on me, and I could not escape the mess I had created. After what felt like an absolute eternity, the principal finally said, I'm suspending you for 2 weeks. I hope this time away will give you the opportunity to reflect on your actions, son. I was devastated. I knew I messed up, but I never thought that it would come to this. As I walked out of the school, feeling like a complete idiot, I could not help but wonder if I deserved this. Was I really that terrible of a person? Or was I just a product of circumstances trying to survive the best way I knew how? What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. I have multiple updates about this story, and I'll tell you right now, it does not go away you think it's going to go. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for daily revenge stories, and here is your update. Alright guys, here's the update you've been asking for in the comments. And let me tell you, things have gone from bad to worse. The first 2 weeks of my suspension were pure hell. I felt like a total outcast, and it seemed like everyone had turned against me. But during that time, I made a firm decision. I was going to turn my life around. I wanted to graduate high school, and I knew that I had to make some serious changes to make that happen. So, when I got back to school, I was a changed person. I stopped smoking before school, and I even started spraying myself down with some body spray, just to make sure I didn't smell like cigarettes. I told everyone that I used to sell to that I was not doing that anymore, and I stopped altogether. Yeah, I still smoked cigarettes, and sometimes even a little bit of recreational stuff at night at my house, but only to help me go to sleep. I made a vow never to do it before school anymore, and I thought that would be the end of it, but oh boy, I was wrong. More and more parent letters kept being sent to the school accusing me of, distributing. It was like a nightmare that would not end. One day I was called into the principal's office, and there were those darn letters again. The principal looked at me with a mix of disappointment and suspicion and said, I thought that you changed, but these letters say otherwise. No, I have changed. I'm not doing that stuff anymore. You have to believe me. He shook his head with his eyes cold and unyielding. I can't trust you anymore. You've broken that trust too many times in the past. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was innocent this time, and yet I was being treated like a criminal. I pleaded with him, begged him to give me a chance, but he made up his mind. You're expelled, he said with his voice void of emotion. I can help you find other alternatives to graduate, but you can't do it here. I felt like the ground has been pulled from beneath me. Expelled? 5 months away from graduation? I was so close, and now it was all being taken away from me. And then I saw it. Right there in front of me, a name on the letters. And most of them came from the same parent. I knew the child of the parent, and everything clicked. I knew who was behind this, and I felt a rage like never before. I stormed out of the office, my mind spinning with anger and betrayal, and I could not believe this was happening to me, not when I was trying so hard to do the right thing. I went home that night, angry and mad, and I knew that I'd been wronged, but I did not know what to do. I felt like my life had been ripped apart and there was nothing I could do to fix it. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's been 2 months since my last update, and I'm afraid things have taken a very, very dark turn. I'm now attending night school to graduate, but the memories of being expelled from my prestigious high school over false allegations keep haunting me. Your support has been absolutely incredible, but there's something I have to get off my chest. The anger has been building up inside me like a raging storm. The more I think about those parents and their relentless pursuit to destroy my life, the angrier I get. Why did they keep sending letters even after my suspension? Why did their child, someone I considered a friend, never warn me? I feel like I was singled out and blamed for their child's poor choices. I know it's not right to think this way, but I could not help myself. The anger grew to the point where I was literally shaking with rage. One late night, after having a few drinks, the urge for revenge became too strong to resist, and I walked out at 2 a.m. fueled by anger and made my way to their house. First, I destroyed their mailbox, bending it down into the yard, completely breaking it. The satisfaction I felt was short-lived, and I knew I had to do more. I hopped over their back fence. I found myself looking at their hot tub, a very, very expensive hot tub that I knew that they just got. How do I know that? Well, this so-called friend told me that his father spent a fortune on it, almost all of his savings from that year's Christmas bonus, and I could not resist. I peed in it, laughing at the absurdity of the situation, but also feeling a twisted sense of satisfaction. Then I spotted a gas can next to their lawnmower, and the idea just struck me like lightning. And before I knew what I was doing, I was pouring the rest of the gas into their backyard pool. That's right. Poured it right into their swimming pool. Suddenly I heard a noise, and my heart leaped into my throat, and I ran, not looking back. I woke up the next morning with a pounding headache, and the guilt was washing over me. What had I done? I felt stupid, ashamed, and I knew I only did it out of anger. But then as the day wore on, a sense of triumph began to take over. No one knew what happened except me. And I realized that I was glad to have gotten some kind of payback, a bit of retribution. I know it's wrong, I do, and I know I should feel remorseful, but the fact is the fact. I don't. Well, not completely anyways. So here I am, laying it all out for you. Am I the a-hole for seeking revenge, or did they have it coming for ruining my life with false allegations? I need your judgment once again, guys. Help me understand what I've become, and if there's any way to make it right. Final update. Well, everyone, here it is. The final turn to my tumultuous journey that, well, seen me go from a troubled high school burnout to a night school graduate with a diploma in hand. I know, it's been a wild ride, and I've gotten some news to share, both good and, well, let's say, intriguing. First, the good stuff. I graduated from night school. I finally did it, and I've got my high school diploma to prove it. The feeling of accomplishment is overwhelming, and I'm incredibly grateful for the chance to start over. I've decided to take a year off before looking into college, but I've got a few schools in mind. New friends, new beginnings, and a chance to leave the past behind. I'm proud of how far I've come. Now about those parents who expelled me, right? Word around town is that they never figured out who damaged their mailbox or poured gasoline into their pool. Whoopsie. And as far as the pee in their hot tub, I'm not even sure that they're aware of that. But the talks about it still make me chuckle. I'll admit, sometimes I enjoy picturing them sitting there, blissfully unaware of the pee-infested hot tub they're enjoying, sitting down after a long day at work, relaxing in their pee-filled hot tub. It's a sick thought. I know, but a part of me feels like the revenge was justified. They wronged me in a way that almost ruined my existence, and I got back at them in a way that felt right. At first, I was filled with regret because I knew I could have gotten into trouble for doing something so stupid. The fear of getting caught lingered for a while, and I often wondered if I have gone too far. But as time went on, something shifted, and I realized that what I have done, as wrong as it was, had given me a bit of closure. I no longer harbored a grudge. It was like a weight being shifted off my shoulder, and I could finally move. Heck, I could finally run. So here's where I'm at. I'm standing on the threshold of a new chapter in my life with a mixture of triumph, a bit of shame, to be honest, but mostly satisfaction. Was my revenge the right thing to do? Probably not. But did it help me find peace and let go of the anger that was eating me alive in a twisted way? Yes, it did. So I ask you guys one final question. Am I the a-hole for finding peace in such an unconventional way? Have I truly learned from my mistakes, or am I just fooling myself? I'm going to leave that one to you guys. To pass the final judgment, your support, insights, and brutal honesty have been a guiding light through this, so why not ask you guys one more time? Anyways, here's to new beginnings, hard-earned lessons, and the power of redemption. You guys probably won't hear from me again, and that's okay, because we went on this journey together. I just want to go over some of the comments from this story because wow, what a read. Here's comment number 1. I totally get where the OP's coming from. Being falsely accused and expelled would make anybody furious. I think the revenge, though, was a bit too much. But I can understand the need for closure. I only wish that he would have found a legal way to clear his name instead. Comment number 2 says this. Wow, what a wild ride. I mean, honestly, I think the revenge was justified. I don't agree with some of the commenters that say it wasn't. Those parents should have known better than to make false allegations. While I don't condone the actions, it's hard to not feel satisfied knowing that they got a taste of their own medicine. Comment number 3. This is a clear case of, quote, everybody sucks here. The protagonist, aka OP, the actions before the allegations were obviously problematic, and the revenge was immature and dangerous. But the parents making those false accusations were equally wrong. No one came out of this looking good. Comment number 4. I can't believe some people are supporting the OP's actions. I mean, what he did was not only illegal, but also morally wrong, horrendous. 2 wrongs don't make a right, and he should have sought legal help instead of taking the law into his own vigilante hands. This whole story leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Comment number 5, and this is the comment that got a lot of attention. This story really resonated with me. It's a nuanced tale that doesn't offer simple answers. Yes, the OP made mistakes, but he also grew and changed. I'm torn between condemning his revenge and understanding his emotional journey. It is a story, though, that makes you think, and those are kind of rare on this website, so I appreciate that. A lot of people seem to agree with that one. I do want to know from you guys, which of those 5 commenters you agree with the most. I try to find 5 or 6 comments from every story on the Revenge channel, and we can discuss it down below which one gives the best advice. Guys, my name's Mr. Reddito. I narrate stories every single day. If you want to be a part of these stories, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow, but do remember one thing. It's cool to be kind. See ya.